All right, everybody, welcome in. This is Why Superman Sucks. I know it has been a long time since we posted last. Life has happened. I made the move. Ollie had the sex change. It's been wild.
Yep.
So, with that, though, remember this podcast consists of myself, Midi, we have Ollie, we have Shadow, and we have DK. But today, Shadow and DK are pretty busy, so we had to call in some guest judges. I talk about the Discord a lot and the Twitch. So we brought over from the Discord, we have Raider B and Stinky Pinky. Say hello.
What's
What's
up,
up?
everybody?
So, we have a pretty fun few videos coming up for you. I can't wait to start putting more content out. Remember, you can check the Twitch out. You can check the Discord out. We'll get links for you guys at the end of all the videos. Let's get this started. All right, here we go. We have Antman versus the Atom. Scott Lang, Ant-Man versus the Atom. Remember the rules here, folks. Everybody is put in a neutral universe, so there's no excuse. Plot armor doesn't exist here. Everybody is put at the most quote-unquote powerful version of themselves that exists. Both Ollie and I will list off feats, powers, and weaknesses, and it is up to the judges to decide which of us wins the debate. So, with that, Ollie, break down the Atom a little bit for everybody.
So the Atom, there have been multiple Atoms throughout the entirety of the DC universe. The one that we are going to be talking about today is Raymond Palmer, who had the abilities for longer and is the successor to the original Al. As for some of his abilities and stuff that he has, all he can do is shrink and control his weight, so that way even whenever he's shrunk into um, subatomic levels, he still can have his weight of 180 pounds and use that weight in order to make his attacks. He also he's also able to fly by shrinking small enough in order to glide on air currents, stiff breezes, as well as traveling through phone lines by shrinking himself small enough to travel through them. He also, due to being able to shrink small enough to go subatomic, he can go into the quantum level to traverse the multiverse at will. He is proficient with hand-to-hand combat, primarily judo, and he is more agile than the Flash. Uh, Due to him being an Olympic level gymnast. He has a genius level intellect since he has a PhD in physics, and he also is well versed in swordplay due to him being um, abducted by some aliens called the Carthonines and being thrown into their gladiator rings. As for some of the equipment that he has, the reason why he's able to shrink to his shrink and absorb, like change his weight, is due to the bio belt that he has, which he later moved it to his gloves, and then finally he moves to an encephalopathic grid and his mask that allows him to shrink and grow mentally at will. As for some of the feats that he was once a part of the Indigo tribe, so he was once a lantern, part of the compassionate Indigo lanterns, which allowed him to mimic the abilities of the other rings. He was part of the Justice League of America, and also for a short amount of time during 0 Hour, he was a member of the Teen Titans.
That I did not know.
Yeah.
Is that what you got?
That's about all I got, yeah.
Okay. So Ant-Man is more of a mantle than it is a person. Some fun facts for random people that have been Ant-Man. We have Hank Pym, who's the original. Scott Lang, who's the one most of you know. We had Sabretooth was an Ant-Man. Wolverine became an Ant-Man. And my most recent discovery was Aunt May was an Ant-Man. So those are just some. There's like Eric O'Grady and a few others, but those are just some of the fun ones that have taken up the mantle of Ant-Man. We're going to talk about Scott Lang. Scott Lang is not the smartest of all the people that have worn the mantle of Ant-Man. Relies a lot on his tech and on his ants. Scott Lang, one of the he has the Pym particles, right? So he can go really, really big if he wanted to, and he definitely can shrink subatomic to the subatomic level. Spent a lot of time in the quantum realm, learned a lot of really cool tricks, utilized his ants a lot better. You're going to hear a lot of talk about ants on this one because Scott Lang is the one that he utilizes them the most. He has defeated the Avengers by himself. Well, with his ants, but by himself. He's not very durable. He's not very strong. He's not very fast. Again, ants. All right, that's what we're focusing on here. He has the ability to bend the will of the ants completely to whatever it is he wants them to do. Example, one of his moves is he can make a super giant fist with these ants, and he has even been able to hold his own for a time against Thanos with ants. He's done this with ants without the plot armor of a squirrel girl, okay? So, like, one time he managed to, with ants, outsmart Tony Stark's technology. With ants. Okay, that's all I've got here, guys. I need you to really focus on this part because all I have for Scott Lang is ants.
I have a question. Was this with ants?
This was with ants.
Oh, okay. Got it.
But again, some of the feats that he has is he's defeated the Avengers. He has held his own against Thanos. He knocked down, not knocked out, knocked down Thor. Made the Hulk a bit concerned in a fight once. It was a short fight that the Hulk ultimately won, but it is stated that the Hulk was slightly concerned with the ferocity of attacks brought onto him by these, and I say again, ants.
No uncles.
No uncles. Jesus. Oh, that hurts. That hurts than Uncle Ben. But no, like some of the things he can do with the ants, again, he can form a giant fist that it's super strong. And also, again, like with the Atom, Ant-Man retains when he is super small the strength that he possesses as a full-grown human. So like you see in the MCU, best way to explain it for a lot of the casual people here is how he's able to knock out or knock down the Chitauri and other really big, strong people, is that even while he's that small, he has the strength of a full-sized human being, and he knows a thing or two about physics. So he utilizes that in a lot of his fights. He doesn't have much for feats outside of what I have thrown down, so I'm going to throw it to the judges to ask some questions.
So, first question, are we only speaking on one Ant-Man?
Yes.
Yeah, because he's not like everyone else has different like power levels to themselves. In this instance, we have different versions of Ant-Man, but they're different people that all have their own feats and abilities. Like what makes Scott Lang so unique it's more of his backstory, how he took himself from a life of crime and turned himself into this hero with the ability to basically overcome anything that you throw in front of him, lacking in the intelligence department, lacking in the durability department, lacking in the strength department, and still overcoming really strong people. Like, to take on the Avengers by yourself and come out on top, no matter what help you had, it's insane. Not a lot of people in Marvel can claim that. Not at Ant-Man's level. How to explain it? It would be like your local mechanic decides to step into an MMA ring with, like, the heavyweight champion at that time and manages to knock him out in the first round.
Hmm.
The fight with Hulk and Thor, that would be like you guys fighting a mountain and somehow managing to, with your bare fists, knock a couple of chunks of the mountain off.
Okay.
So we had to go through and pick who would be the best suited for a shrinking fight. And Hank Pym, who would generally be the best choice, probably spent more time as Giant Man than he did as just Ant-Man. And Scott Lang does have the ability to grow, which we could technically put into this fight, but it doesn't do anything for Scott to grow big against someone who can shrink down to the subatomic level when he can do the same thing, so he might as well jump down there. The edge that my guy has is his ability to utilize the tools at his disposal. So because he knows he has all these shortcomings where he's not that great of a hand-to-hand fighter, like he could throw down in a street fight, sure, maybe come out on top, but that's not his specialty. He's not exactly tech savvy, but he's definitely extremely street smart and able to adapt to 99% of the situations that he finds himself in. His time in the quantum realm helped him understand better how to mess with things on the subatomic level, how to change molecular structure in certain things. As a matter of fact, I believe it was him, not Hank, I think it was Scott, that the Hulk had gotten Lou Gehrig's disease, and he was able to shrink down into the Hulk's body and replace the bad cells with healthy cells from his dad. So the fact that he was able to go into the Hulk's body, survive that level of radiation, and do all that crazy smart medical stuff, puts him in a league of his own. Ollie, do you have any counters?
As for like feats that Adam has done, I know his main like villain is Kronos, who is able to control time, if I remember correctly. Yes, he's able to control time and fuck with time and stuff like that. He can time travel. That's probably one of his biggest, outside of being a part of the Indigo tribe and fighting against a Black Lantern, Hawkman, and Hawkwoman, or Hawkgirl, sorry, as well as fighting with his ex-wife, who was turned into a black ring and destroying her. As in the Indigo ring is, for those that don't know, there are several different rings within the DC multiverse. I think there's 7, and they all encompass all the emotions. The one that you're most likely going to see is either green or red, because that is green is willpower, Hal Jordan, the Green Lanterns, and then red is the anger, rage, and maybe yellow, which is fear, if you watch the um, animated suit Green Lantern with Ryan Reynolds. Whereas with the Indigo is compassion, and the abilities of the compassion ring are able to mimic the abilities of all the rings, with some limitations. And I know that whenever Ray Palmer, the Atom, had the Indigo ring, he helped Indigo 1, which is I believe one of the first Indigo ring users, um, teleport the armies of each Lantern Corps onto Earth by helping defend her, in which case he temporarily became an Orange Lantern and summoned energy duplicates of Khufu and Cha-Re, which are Egyptian, uh, it's an Egyptian pharaoh, I believe. Yeah, which are the pharaohs that I believe give Hawkman and Hawkgirl their abilities. If I read that right. That's really it for some of his big stuff, and it's gonna come down to whether or not. I have a question for you, Mitty. Can Scott control the size of the ants?
Yes.
Can he stabilize the size of the ants?
Yes.
Okay, because I also saw here that Ray Palmer can shrink down other people as well. The only issue is without the stabilization of Ray's gear, they tend to explode.
Yeah. No. Scott has complete control over whatever the PIM particles are on. He has control over everything to the subatomic level of that.
Okay.
Sounds like Scott's more of a team player.
Yeah.
He's been on more teams than I would say the Atom for sure. In D&D terms, he would be your support role.
Let's see. Adam has been with the Challengers from Beyond, the Justice League of America, the Suicide Squad, the Teen Titans, the Indigo Tribe, and the Catharthans.
So, with
Okay.
where we're at now, let's get some more questions from the judges.
Okay. So, if you're looking at Ant-Man's feats. I mean, just the main one here of taking on the Avengers. Is there anything equatable for the Atom that can equate to something like that?
Living through the Blackest Night, in which a bunch of superheroes got corrupted and taken over by Black Lanterns, which pretty much turns them into zombies.
Define living through it. Because technically, Ant-Man made it in the MCU. We can do this one here for casual, for the casuals here. Ant-Man made it through the snap, and the only reason he made it through the snap was he was too small to be like snapped away. So he didn't necessarily fight anyone, but he made it. He made it through the snap.
So, in the Blackest Night, Ray was trying to visit his wife's grave, and and Hawkman with Hawkman, and Hawkman told him no because Jean killed someone, and whenever Ray tried calling Hawkman again, he didn't realize that Hawkman was resurrected as a Black Lantern. And he was also attacked by the Black Lantern Hawkman and Hawkgirl, and he only escaped by miniaturizing himself and hiding in the actual Black Lantern ring.
So there was no fight.
And no, there wasn't a fight per se, not until he joined the Indigo Tribe and became an Indigo ring user.
Okay, so he had to get the ring to have the strength to fight.
Yes.
Okay.
It was probably also because he didn't want to hurt his friend, but because he doesn't kill the Black Lantern, Hawkman, and Hawkgirl, he tries to find a way to legitimately resurrect them after helping Indigo One teleport all of the remaining Lantern Corps to Earth.
Okay.
Um,
Can't think of anything else at this moment.
so I mean, for the most part, without I don't want to say necessarily the help of others or an outside source, but I'll say that without the help of others or an outside source, Adam isn't much of a powerhouse. He's not much of a.
No, he's extremely intelligent, and whenever he's just able to shrink, and he finds himself in certain situations, in which case he's able to put a stop to those situations. The biggest thing with him is with the bio belt, or with the uh, encephalopathic grid in his mask. He's able to shrink himself and others mentally, and he's also able to alter his molecular density to whatever degree he desires, so that way he can assume any weight at any height up to his full 180 pounds. So if you can imagine what it would feel like if there was a centimeter tall human being flying at you pretty quickly with 180 pounds of force in you, think of like a needle.
Mm-hmm.
You'll go straight through that person.
Yeah, that could be pretty devastating.
Granted, if I'm remembering correctly, Ant-Man can do the same thing, but and as far as I know, the smallest that any of them can go is subatomic, which takes you into the quantum level. In which case, then it becomes a fight between Ray and Scott with his ants, and whether or not Ray can control the size of Scott's ants until they reach subatomic. In which case, then it's a moot point because they can't go any smaller than that. And whether or not Ray can use his abilities with his judo background and also with his swordsmanship that he learned from the Catarthans in order to kill Scott before Scott can make things even on the subatomic level.
Okay.
Those are just some of the things that you're going to have to think about whenever you're thinking, coming into considerations who's going to win.
Yeah, and don't think one is more of a powerhouse than the other, because both of these characters are generally more support characters in the comics. All right, they're like Ant-Man has been more of a, we need to tip the balance of this fight. I need to throw off the enemy so that the real strong people can come in and get their win.
And Adam has mostly been used for like espionage and spy shit.
Okay.
If you could shrink to about a millimeter tall, you can't really see that.
So I think what we're going to do, unless you guys have any more questions, is we're going to have you guys jump down to the judges area and discuss amongst yourself. Take about a good 5 minutes. Discuss, make a decision, hop back up. And for those of you that are going to put in the comments the whole Ant-Man going up fucking Thanos' butt in the movie, stop it. Get some help. Knock it off. Just knock it off. Just stop. Just stop. There's two reasons why it didn't happen. One is because the movie needed to last longer than that. Two, you think that a fucking universal being with stones that shaped fucking reality as you know it wouldn't have a way to stop something like that from happening as it happened.
Yeah, he does his kegels.
Like, it's just, it needs to go away. The trope of it, just it's a funny idea, but that's it. That's it. It's just a funny idea. No more. Make it stop. Leave Thanos' rectum alone. Leave it alone. No.
Right, if Scott somehow found his way into the Atom's asshole and the Atom went subatomic, Ant-Man would disappear.
They would have to shrink at the same time.
Yes.
Otherwise it's bad for your boy. I didn't realize Adam had like much, if anything, for like hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah, from his part in the Justice League of America, they taught him how to fight, and he developed a proficiency with judo. And then whenever he was taken by the Catarthans, he
Learned the
was thrown into
swordsmanship. Yeah.
Yep, was thrown into the gladiator ring and has been shown to have considerable skill in swordsmanship.
Hank Pym would have been a good for that. His time as Yellow Jacket. He did a lot more hand-to-hand stuff. So it'll be interesting to see what way they go. You are right though. Scott does have bigger feet.
Yes, he has much bigger feet than Adam does.
And it's
Like Adam's biggest feat is literally just getting an indigo ring. Like, that's it.
And again, guys, if you have other takes on this, leave that in the comments. Leave that in the comments. Hop in, and you can tell me how wrong I am, because I don't ever claim to be like an expert on any of this. Okay, I just have a passion for comics and anime and debating. That's it. All right, that's why I do this. I don't mind being corrected. Or if you want to have a fight, like you want to argue and you want to be rude, I'm here for it. We can do that in the comments too. But it stays in the comments, and there's no real threats. You don't threaten anyone's life or dox them or any of that crazy stuff. But we can yell at each other and say that my dad can beat up your dad. All right, we can do that kind of stuff. Although my dad probably can beat up your dad. All right. My dad versus 50 dads, I feel like my dad comes out on top for the most part.
That's bias talking, but yeah.
It is, but it's my dad, and he can do what I say he does.
Does he ever do what you say he does?
No, not ever.
Yeah, that's what I
He's
thought.
a scary
That's what I
man.
thought.
Love you, Dad. It'd be funny to get him on here sometime. He would not know what to do. We would not be talking about comic books.
Who should have won the war? Well,
No, wouldn't even talk about that. It would probably be, I don't know. He was a chef for like 30 years, so probably food related.
okay.
Yeah, I mean, almost everything I know about cooking I learned from the man.
So what's better, Chiffonade or Julienne?
You know, that's a question for him, and he's at church right now. Otherwise, I'd call him.
I already know the answer that he would probably give. Being a chef.
He'll get mad at you. Cook. In his words, there's the difference between a chef and a cook is a chef has to wear a fancy hat and be appropriate and civil and can't swear. A cook doesn't wear a fancy hat and can fucking swear all he fucking wants. That's a verbatim quote from my father.
So, as being a cook, I know exactly what he would probably say.
Yeah, what's that?
Depends on what you're using it for.
That is fair. God, they're taking their time, and that's fine. We need to be way more detailed when we're going through this now. I realized like halfway through, I was like, oh. What do we got?
Weird.
All right, so here's what we need. We need your ruling, and then why it is you decided on the person that you chose.
Well, we came to a very quick decision. I can say that.
No,
Take
you
away.
go ahead. Okay. Well, no, I think we both agree the clear-cut winner in this is definitely Ant-Man. Looking at feats alone, I definitely think Ant-Man has more to stack. I think we both agreed if we were to take, say, like all of their equipment, if we were talking just them at a base level versus, then yeah, Adam would probably take it with his, combat style skills. But as far as this goes, it's definitely Ant-Man.
You want to know why that is? Because ants.
Yep, because of
No
ants.
uncles.
No uncles.
Thank you guys so much for hanging out. We appreciate all of your support, all the love. Make sure you are leaving likes, you are throwing comments, you throw a follow, a subscribe here. Still new to this.
Yeah, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and click the bell so that you get notifications whenever the next videos get dropped.
And that's why Olivia is here.
Yep.
Again, to the guest judges, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to be here. To our normal judges, thank you so much for all the work that you put in. A lot goes on behind the scenes, and the judges help rein the chaos in so much. We will have links for the Hive Discord dropped in the description of the video. Come on over, join the family, be awesome.
We got cookies.
We will have the link for my Twitch, MityMidJT, down in the description. Raider, Stinky, if you guys have any projects that you would like to throw out, let's toss it out now.
I don't think we have too much going on. We do community game nights and community movie nights within the Discord. So if you like hanging out, watching movies, we tend to watch newer movies too. Get them early access as we can. So, yeah, come hang out. We're a good group of people. Okay, some of us are a good group of people.
Do you guys are on socials? Yes. Like you guys got Twitch. Where can we find you?
Yes, I am Raider B on Twitch and TikTok. So you definitely come hang out, say hi, drop a follow.
You can find me at StinkyPinky0091 on both Twitch and TikTok. I do myself a little variety of Call of Duty and some D&D related things.
All right,
You
we
will
will.
find links in the description for everyone's Twitch, for everyone's socials that they wish to give us, and that's where that will be.
Every week we'll try to have a different random guest from the community hop in and be a guest judge, or if you want to debate me, or if you want to debate Olivier, hop on in. We're both ready for the smoke all the time. I will catch you guys in the next one.